there are 4 more minutes. Well, just as a note, the class who took this test yesterday, I think most students spend about 45 minutes and they're done. So I don't think this is going to be a long test, even though it's all about traces and you're all tracing by hand. The traces are not long. You just have to be careful and follow the steps carefully. That's basically the bottom line.
Open book,
Open book, open notes, anything that is printed. And since you guys make it here early, I'll give you guys, do you guys a favor too. The last 2 points of the instructions are particularly important with this test because you don't have these in the previous test. So I'll just kind of read it out so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Disjunctions and conjunctions use short-circuited evaluation. Okay, so that's an important thing because all evaluations will go from left to right, and once you can determine the outcome of a disjunction or conjunction, you don't continue with the other side. Okay, so remember it's short-circuited evaluation. And then the second one is report error conditions explicitly if a program cannot continue normal execution. In other words, if the code is trying to access an element that is not in an array, stop right there and just comment on the line and say, okay, we cannot continue execution at this point because the program is trying to access an element that is outside of, that is not in the array. Or if you see a loop that is just going to go endlessly, you just say that this is going to be an endless loop. I'm ending the trace right here. Okay? So anything that is not normal, you want to report it and basically say, I cannot continue the trace at this point. Okay? So those two are the new things, compared to the last time. And each trace has its own sheet. I used double-sided sheet this time because I don't want to bring in like a whole big huge pile of paper. But each trace looks like this. You have the code on the top, and then we have grid lines at the bottom. So that means you don't have to flip pages to trace a specific program. If you need extra sheets, I do have extra sheets. Okay, so if you want to start from scratch and you use something that is not erasable, or you don't want to waste the time to erase a whole page, just come ask me. But when you come ask me, you want to bring your question with you so I can give you the right version of that question. Okay, any questions before we start? We have about a minute left. No questions? We have the entire class period to do this. So you have up to 80 minutes to do this exam. The last person who left in my previous class, he or she, I can't remember, I think it's a he left about 5 minutes before the 80-minute was used up. So that kind of tells you how much time you can expect to spend on this one. Any questions? Remember, no cell phones, no computers during the test. Okay? You can use calculators. Okay, if your phone is only used as a calculator, it's okay with me. I think most of you can do calculations that we need without a calculator. But if you feel better with a calculator, that's fine. Last thing, I copied, pasted, and modified, and forgot to change the class day and meeting time. Another live demonstration of the evilness of copy, paste, and modify. So don't mind that part. Just make sure you write your own name down, okay? Because I can tell which class from which class, but if you don't write down your name, I cannot tell whose exam it is. So we go ahead and pass out the exams. About one day. will